Good morning, students, parents, staff, and faculty alike. I am Mrs. Hubbs, a high needs para in Student Services. Today, I am introducing Zach Charlin in connection with his thesis. He is known throughout the school with his morning greetings as students walk in, as well as his dedication to learning and interest in everything. He welcomes everyone with smiles and occasional "how are you?" For me, he is a student who I've taught for 7 years. I've seen him blossom and grow from the shy 6th grader to a significant poor needs room, which he described as crazy, to a well-spoken 12th grader who is ready to take on the world. In all my years of teaching, I believe Zach is the true embodiment of a hard worker. Every day, he is eager to absorb and comprehend any subject, especially if it's science or math. He may get frustrated at times while reading a passage or writing, but he always finishes what he started. I've seen his triumphs, his hardships, his fears and doubts, and through all of it, his determination, his kindness, and his resilience were unmatched. His journey has always not been easy, but it's always been meaningful, and it has been his own. As he presents his thesis, I ask you not only to listen to his words, but to the growth, effort, and courage behind them. Zach represents what it truly means to learn, to grow, and to overcome. It is my honor and privilege to introduce a student who has worked incredibly hard to be here today. Please welcome Zach Charlin.
Hi, I'm Zach. I am reading Odysseus in the wheelchair. In my life, I have had challenges that I have learned to overcome. To understand the true meaning of life, I will use my story and relate it to Odysseus, as it is not easy, nor it is going to be for the faint of heart. Odysseus' heroic actions show that strength and determination are essential for overcoming challenges. We share similar obstacles, endure and show bravery as we navigate through life. I used to conquer my struggle with cerebral palsy, exemplifying that is a worthwhile life. The Odyssey is about Odysseus' journey home. He spent his life being tortured and outwitting his enemies. He witnessed death when his comrades sacrificed their lives. We share similar obstacles, such as enduring loud noises, losing loved ones, entering and facing disasters. First, Circe warns Odysseus of the sirens. He tied himself to the ship's mast and listened while his men plugged their ears. I tend to focus on fire alarms, panic alarms, honking noises, and arguing. Odysseus chose to listen to the siren song because he was curious. I too sometimes want to know what something loud sounds like and listen to see what will happen. If it's too loud and I don't calm down my mind thinks loud noises are threats that I need to protect myself from. Odysseus restrains his body to protect himself. He resists the deadly siren's song. His cleverness and willpower help him overcome temptation. I overcome loud noises by advocating for myself, like wearing headphones. In the underworld, Odysseus speaks to Tiresias to learn what he must do to go home. I have no clue what the underworld looks like. I have had people pass away in my life, such as my papa and my girlfriend Shona. I miss them very much. Papa was a loving person. I miss his smile. He used to read me stories and take me on drives. Another friend that I lost was Jonah, whom I knew for 6 years. We met in conductive therapy. We used to stretch and do our walker exercises together. I miss our talks, laughs, and the way we could be ourselves. He has cerebral palsy too. Odysseus sees his mother in Agamemnon during his time in the underworld. Odysseus shows sorrow and devastation when he speaks to them. In my process of grieving, I cried in my sadness, but I gathered myself, smiled, and remembered them. Odysseus does not give up on reaching Ithaca. His ship was struck by lightning and got lost. I, like Odysseus, have had issues while traveling. My van has broken down, gone into a ditch, and has been hit by other cars and rocks. It takes a while to get another vehicle while waiting for our car to get fixed. I use the van to go to school and home. Like Odysseus, we both rely on vessels to get us where we need to go. Another vessel I rely on is my wheelchair. Sometimes my power goes out in my chair. Other times my joystick is broken. Whenever this happens, I either need my chair to be pushed or transferred to my manual chair. When my chair fails me, I am scared because these are my legs and my way of driving around. Odysseus had survived a wrecked accident as well. In that crash, he feels scared, showing heroes have fear too. Obstacles remind us that we need love, help, and friendship from others, which are essential to living well. Penelope is Odysseus' loving force driving him home. King Achenos helps Odysseus too, giving him supplies for his journey. Friendship also helps you. I love my friends. They help make my day easier and more fun. The gods like Athena protect and guide Odysseus on his journey. For me, is the affection for my dad, mom, and my girlfriend, Natasha. My family and friends ease some of my struggles with cerebral palsy. Odysseus faced the Cyclops. His strength and bulk terrified his crew. Odysseus almost got killed, but he and his men escaped. Odysseus regrets his choice because of the consequences. The cave gave him a false sense of hope. I too have had a false sense of hope. When I was 5, I had surgery on my hips. Before surgery, I had no pain, but the surgeon convinced my family to do it anyway. I ended up with multiple complications like chronic pain. I could no longer sit cross-legged, and my mom could no longer carry me on her hips as a normal baby would. I couldn't do the horse therapy I loved because of the horrific pain. When the plates and screws were removed a year later, I ended up with a dangerous infection and had to have another operation to remove infected scar tissue. Our family trusted the doctors and specialists, but they gave us a false sense of hope that my life would be better. The surgery changed my independence and took away my ability to use my walker. I can never go back. I feel sad about that. However, I cope by calming down and living life day by day. I was never the same boy after. My anxiety sparked and has never gone away. My body tenses up and feels tight. I can't listen, scream, can't breathe, and hit myself. I want to run and escape. I try to free myself by fighting who has someone who hasn't seen it. This I may work fighting, but I am releasing my emotions. I struggle to express my feelings with words. The aftermath is like a calm after a storm. Though I feel tired, I am a lot better. I defeat my anxiety fits by asking for help and a hug, calming down, taking time to slow down, and taking deep breaths. Throughout the Odyssey, Odysseus experiences terror too. After Poseidon's attack, Odysseus swam in the open ocean till his body was exhausted and beaten up. He hung onto a tree for hours, fell, and drifted for 9 days. Odysseus and I have abilities to survive in the darkness. We work for the safest option even when peril arises. Odysseus and I choose to be calm, smart, and focus on ways of happiness in the middle of danger. I think about my friends and family. Odysseus did the same. Odysseus' heroic actions in my life with cerebral palsy show that strength and determination are essential for overcoming challenges. My life is hard, like Odysseus. We show love and courage in everything we do. We have faith and endurance in everything that has happened whilst tears and pain. We look into the future. Odysseus' epic tale of my story of trying to stay calm in the middle of the storm will always be there to inspire others.
All right, Zach. Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me work with you, Joe. It was a joy. It was a privilege. So, my question. Does your speech redefine what it means to be heroic? Does it successfully argue that living with a disability is a heroic act?
Yes, my speech does successfully argue that living with a disability is a heroic action. Heroism is not about physical strength or battle, rather it is purpose in adapting through the obstacles.
Hey, Zach. You talked about this a little bit in your speech, but can you tell us a little bit more? How central is the role of others, your family, your friends, and gods, to both Odysseus and you in reaching your goals?
Odysseus and I don't survive alone. Our support system help us, and they are not our weakness. They are essential. Odysseus had Penelope, Athena, and King Acnos all helped him survive and get home. Dad, Mom, Natasha, and my friends make my day easier and reminded me to stay strong.
Mr. B.
Thank you, Zach. It was really moving to hear more of your story. And at the end of your speech, you suggest to us that your story will live with us as a source of inspiration. And Zach, I hope you know that you are a very loved and cherished person in this building at Goldenview. And your story will live with us in your thesis, but also the memory of just you rolling around the hallways. You trying to run me down half the time. that was really funny. And Zach, I remember all the way back to rhetoric back in the day, a long time ago, and I'm really proud of the way that you've grown in speech over these years. You did awesome today. So yeah, tell us more about how your story is an inspiration for others, and what makes your particular story worth telling.
My speech calls people to inspire others because it transforms a private struggle into a universal message that all people face their own journeys. The Odyssey is a story I'm using because Odysseus' endurance.
Which one to say it?
Gina.
Your whole speech, Zach. I wanted to ask, does organizing your thesis as a series of parallel comparisons make the argument stronger or less?
I organize my thesis with comparisons to make it stronger, having 6 parallels to create emotional weight to make it more understanding. Fear can't help anyone but hearing a story about Odysseus, and I can make it more relatable.
So yeah.
Zach, I'm delighted that I got to work with you these 7 years, and I'm glad I met you. And Seeing you do this speech is awesome. You did a very good job. Probably the best one I've ever seen you do. So congratulations on being a senior and getting this done. So my question for you is, Zach, when you described your surgery as a false sense of hope, what do you mean and how does the Cyclops work in the same role?
The false sense of hope is a good feeling ends up not being true. Odysseus assured he was needing help from the Cyclops, but he did not get it. My surgery did not help fix my hips. Odysseus and I shared devastation. Mrs. Golden.
Great job today. Super proud of you. You've been in my math class 5 out of the last 6 years, and it has been a wild ride. You're still the reigning math fact champion. Good job. My question for you is your thesis. Is your life with cerebral palsy genuinely comparable to Odysseus' heroic journey, or is the comparison exaggerated?
My life is comparable to Odysseus' heroic journey because we both faced physical danger, emotional loss, reliance to others, and must find eternal strength to survive. My evidence is the surgery gone wrong in the Cyclops. In addition to my anxiety attacks in Odysseus surviving Poseidon's storm.
When you have anxiety, how do you relate that to Odysseus' fear when he's out in the open ocean?
My anxiety makes me feel scared, same with Odysseus in the open ocean. It's something that we can't control, that we can become when it's chaotic.
That's all the questions that we have for today. Please give Zach a round of applause.